Hi, it's me, RachaelLyn, and I'm here. School is officially out. Yay! I've actually been out for a whole week, but I had 1 week that I was able to work in my classroom, and I had a lot to do to pack everything up and also kind of reorganize a few things so that when I come back in the end of July, August, I can it'll be easier for me. So there was a lot to do and I only had a week to do it. Anyway, here is May's budget, and unfortunately I feel like I completely blew the budget. I mean, I had a rough go of it this month. I was just, I'm going to make excuses here, but I was just so busy with working at Churchill Downs, working at school a lot, having a lot of end of year activities, and just there's just been so much going on. So I have completely dropped the ball in all areas. I ended up gaining weight earlier this month. I haven't made videos in a couple of weeks, at least not consistently, and then completely blew my budget. So let's go to the budget. Here we go. Okay, here we go. That took me a minute to figure out, because for some reason this program deleted itself from my computer and I had to reinstall. So anyway, alright. Here we go. The first thing I'm going to start with, I think, is my notes, although I'll go over all of that as we go. Alright, so first of all, starting May 1st, I kept $100 in my account for diet bets, to do the month-long diet bets, and I was going to start that at the beginning of May, so I kept $100 in there for that, and I added that to my spending budget. I didn't do any diet bets this month. I was way too busy, and when my weight started going up, then I was like, oh, I don't want to I don't know, I just didn't want to join a diet bet when it was on the uptrend and I wasn't sure what was going to happen the next few weeks. So I didn't join any diet bets. Library, I had another 20-cent fine for not renewing a book that I never even read. I have a gift card in here. I earned a $15 Amazon gift card for being part of an online panel. And that was added to, I actually have a lot of money in my Amazon gift card account because I just keep earning gift cards through my surveys that I take online and doing things like panels and stuff. I'll talk more about the Panera spending later, and then Amazon Prime renewed this month, which I set up on purpose because it's after I get paid from Derby and all of that, so around this time of year is when I like to make those big purchases, but I forgot about it, and so I didn't plan for it, but at least I was covered with it, so that's good. And then Applebee's, that one was another one that I paid for my family, and anyway, I was paid the cash, so anyway, okay, let's go through the actual budget now. Alright, so over here I allot $25 a week that I give to my church, and I stuck to that. It automatically comes out, which makes it very easy. My student loans account, I put the $600 in. My savings account, I budget $800, but I never put this in until the very end of the month, and I have actually transferred all my money over to my other account, but I'm showing you my budget here before that actually happens. And then I didn't put anything in my extra checking account. That's just half of my emergency fund. My additional checking, okay, I got a new checking account this month. I got a advertisement in the mail for a new, if you open a new account at this one particular bank, you get, if you just deposit $100, $100 transfer deposit, you get $100, and then if you use the bank card 50 times in the next 3 months, you get an additional $100. So I thought, well, I don't know that I'll use the card 50 times because I don't really spend a whole lot of money, but I might as well get that $100. So I got that. That actually was just put into my account this morning, and it is June 2nd. So that will go on my June budget. So I did get that $100, and I figured, why not try for that extra $100? As long as I'm spending money, I'll just use this bank card instead of my other bank card. But then trying to figure out how to enter all of that into my budget got confusing, because instead of it coming out of one account, and I keep track of how much is in my account, it was really confusing. So anyway, I actually ended up putting $500 in that account, and it says that I actually put $223 because actually this is where I enter everything over here, and you can't see it. Okay, I got it. Here we go. Now you can see up here, this is all of the costs, all of the expenses that have gone through this particular account. So I started with $500, and then as I spent money from that account, I put it into my budget, but then that showed my main bank account, because here, I'll scroll down here. This is where I enter in my main bank account. This is how much is in there. So it would show that I actually had more in my bank account than what I actually had, because I would enter it in my budget and it wouldn't come out of this money spent part. So, I had some fun figuring out how to do this. So what I did was, the $500 is my initial deposit, which I put in there. I did not count the 100 because I didn't get credit for that yet. And I actually, wait a minute, there should be an extra 100 in there, because I did put an initial $100 deposit, and then I put an extra 500 in there so I would have enough to spend. So I'm not sure where that extra 100 went. Oh, that $100 came from my it came from my savings it came from this savings account, so it didn't touch my budget. And then I ended up putting $500 in my main account and transferring it over, and it ended up touching my budget, and it's been a mess. So anyway, I did enter I put in $500 plus an extra 100, so I actually had $600 in that account. That's why you see down here $223.74. I actually have $323.74 in that account, because 100 of that came from my savings, and that's why I have $2,400 instead of $2,500 like I did at the end of the month. And I have that extra 49 cents because when I did the transfer from the from my Capital One account, my savings account, to this account, it did an electronic verification, so it put some money in there. They never took the 49 cents out, so I guess I just get to keep 49 cents. They usually put it in and then take it out, but they never take out the 49 cents, so I have an extra 49 cents in there. So anyway, I don't know if they're going to take it out or not, but I have it. Okay, so each one of these are expenses, and you could see like corresponding numbers down here for like $23.50. What was that? There's $15.50 at Kroger. There's a star, so I spent Kroger, I think that was spending money, so it's like right here underneath me. So there's Kroger, and then $8, so that's $23.50. $6.46, $60.32, $3.74. So all these little amounts, I ended up taking that out. So it's kind of like I didn't put that in there because I spent it elsewhere. It made the totals come out equal. So that's all I really cared about. And making it equal, and then like that actually shows that's how much is in that account, and then this total came out even. It just came out even. Okay, so let's keep going. Alright, so my sinking funds, what happened here is I actually put in, let's see, the first amount is $1.89, which is actually from my Capital One interest, that I just kind of added it to my sinking funds. And then the extra $96.95 came from the fact that I actually used sinking funds, but I actually used the sinking funds from my main bank account. I just used my bank card. So that's where this comes in, and it's because I paid my dad back for both of these things. So it's just easier for me to go to my main bank account, send him a check. Through that, I don't have to write a check myself because I actually don't have any checks. I need to order some more, but it was easier. And then instead of taking money from my sinking funds, because I had so much extra money this month, I just kind of cash flowed it, really. So I counted it as putting money into my sinking funds to make the totals even. And so that's what I did there. I paid Instant Ink. That it's an ink service that I pay for printing at home. It's school related, really. And then my Verizon bill was $53.07, and then my Netflix was $10.99. These 2 stars just mean that those things are automatically taken out of my account, so I don't have to worry about it. They just come out when they come out. And then going down here, let's see, there's gas. I was under budget in gas, and then this is where we start completely blowing the budget, which you might have already seen with me scrolling all around. But okay, so I was under $15.85 in gas. My groceries, I was right on target with groceries. My teaching, oh my gosh. Okay, here's my gas. You can just see I was good on gas, but oh my gosh, I'm like kind of embarrassed. Okay, so I spent $8 on TPT, that's Teachers Pay Teachers, and I don't even remember what I got. I had $65.52 that I spent at Home Depot for a Mother's Day project. That, however, is reimbursable. I just submitted my receipt, like this, not last week, but the week before. So I have no idea when I'll get that back, but I should get that money back. We are reimbursed up to a certain amount per child to kind of spend for a Mother's Day, to create a Mother's Day gift for parents. So that money I will get back. But it does count towards my expenses. Then I spent some more money on TPT, just a little bit. It must have been just like something, that I thought was cute, needed for the end of the year or something, I don't know. Apple iTunes, that was completely wasted money, $3.78. I spent a couple of dollars on some songs that we needed for our end of the year celebration. That I didn't need to spend it all because my teen teacher, she had the songs all along, and I just went and bought them, and I shouldn't have. Book Lady, this is somebody like displays items like about once a month. They have like things that you can buy. Sometimes it's things like books. I mean, sometimes it's books. It's called Book Lady, but actually most of the stuff is not books. And you can just buy stuff. And I resisted the last few months because I didn't really see anything that I liked. But this last time there were several things that I really liked. I got like a dominoes game. I got a farmyard game, stuff for my classroom. And then I actually ended up getting a gift for my brother for his birthday. And because his birthday's in July, but his gift is taken care of. So, and then I did actually get some books and stuff like that. So I spent $56. Then Teachers Pay Teachers had a sale, and there were several things that I really, really wanted all year long, and I just resisted. And then they had this big sale for the end of the year, or teacher appreciation or something like that, and I was just like, I can get all of these things, and I'll spend a little bit of money, but then I won't have to spend it in August, and then that way I can go ahead and have it now and get everything ready over the summer for all the stuff that I bought, because there's prep stuff that you have to do with a lot of it. And so I spent $240, and yeah, this is where I completely blew my budget. If I'm ever going to blow my budget, it's going to be on school stuff, I guarantee you. Then Scholastic, I ended up spending $129 on books from Scholastic. Some of those, I got books for my kids for the end of the year, and then I also got books for the beginning of the year for the incoming kids. So I got a lot of books, and then I also got a lot of books for my library. And then I spent some money at Walmart. I can't even remember what I got. Oh well. And then Thrift Books. This is an incredible website that I have found that has extremely cheap books. Cheaper than Amazon, cheaper than eBay. Oh my gosh. And then if you spend at least $10, you get free shipping. And then a lot of times they'll have like a coupon code that, and I got like 20% off. And so I got 7 books for like $23. So it was a really good deal, and free shipping. So yeah, really good deal. And they're books that I'll need at the beginning of the school year, that I borrowed from my teen teacher last school year. And while that's a very cheap option to borrow from her, we only had 2 kindergarten teachers this year. Next year we're going to have 3. The other teacher's probably going to need to borrow the books. It's really inconvenient, especially when we try to keep our schedules the same and like we're doing the same subject at the same time. You can't read the same book at the same time. It's difficult. It's just easier if I just have it. So I decided, since I'd already blown my budget, might as well just spend another $20 and get those books that I'm going to need. So yeah, that's really where my budget was completely blown. But I blew it in a few other places, so let's look at that. I went over in restaurants as well. Let's go down here and look. I went to lunch with some other teachers. I went to Taco Bell. That was actually Mother's Day. I bought my mom breakfast at Taco Bell. I did a video from that. Chick-fil-A, which, oh my goodness, some of these expenses in here, Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, this other Chick-fil-A, all of those were completely unnecessary expenses because I have gift cards. I still have gift cards left from those places. But I decided to try to get those 50 transactions on my new bank card. And so instead of using my gift cards completely, I would use like whatever was left on one, and then the leftover I just purchased. I shouldn't have done that. Like, I should not be spending money just to get an extra $100. So I think I did the calculations, and I've spent an extra like $35 more than I would have had I not been trying to get those 50 transactions. After that, I've stopped, so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm only using my card when I would use it anyway. So I was just kind of stupid with that. So anyway, that kind of blew this budget because I was trying to, I said I'd spend about $35. Look at that, $38. I went over more than I would have. And if I had just used gift cards, then I would have been fine, at least in this category. So going back up, the next thing is my spending money, and that one I also blew, but that one was blown, well, it really was blown, because I did not do my diet bets, and I had an extra $100 in there for diet bets, and I didn't spend that money on diet bets, and I blew it. And anyway, let's see, Kroger, Amazon, that's Amazon Prime, actually. If I don't count that, because I've added that into my sinking funds now, but if I don't count this Amazon Prime, then actually I'm going to make this Amazon Prime, just so that I know the difference. It wasn't just spending on Amazon. If I don't count that, then actually no, I didn't blow my budget. And there's my $100, like right there for my diet bets. And then, so actually it was not as bad as I thought, really. Okay. Panera. This was the kindergarten team. We had lunch together, and I paid for it. I put it on my card because I wanted an extra transaction on my card, and then they paid me cash. However, I was going to deposit that cash, but then I ended up spending that money. Oh well. So it just kind of counted as spending money, which is why I put a restaurant in my spending allocation, if that makes sense. And then the same thing down here with Applebee's. My family went out. My dad was paying in cash. I was like, hey, I'm going to put this on my card. I'll take the cash. I still have this cash. I just haven't deposited it yet. So it will go into my June budget. So it's fine. And I actually have more than this left to deposit. So it's fine. It's fine, right? It just makes it look like I completely blew this budget, even though I didn't really. So I did the calculations, and so I was actually over budget by about $500, which is terrible. But really, if you take into consideration that I was reimbursed $65 in cash, I was reimbursed $45 in cash from Panera, although I spent that, so I'm not going to count that. And then the $65 that I'll get reimbursed from school for Mother's Day, and then the $104 from Amazon Prime that was a forgotten expense. So it's not like I went over, I just forgot about it, and it will be in my budget, in my sinking funds from now on. So if you take all that into consideration, I actually only went over budget $261. That's still really, really, really bad, but it's not $500 bad. Okay, so moving on, let's look at my income, because that is really what makes up for it. So my income right here, I had my regular paycheck, $11.24. I had interest, $1.89 for the month before, and then I got one last check from Keeneland from 101. And then this right here is my check from working Derby week, and it was $1,100 for 5 days of work. 5 days. And then I got a check from my state taxes from like 2016, and I don't know where that came from. This right here is tips from Churchill Downs. That is from Derby week. And there might have been a little bit more in there too that I just added of my own money. And then I got my next paycheck for $11.24. Branded surveys, I got $95 this month. And then Churchill Downs, I got another check. I worked 3 days, I think, and got $382.11. There were a couple of days I worked that were time-and-a-half days. And then I have this, because I have cash to deposit. I haven't deposited it yet, and since May is officially over, I need to just delete that. But it's not going to change anything, because I had it at zero anyway. So my total income for this month is $4,501.63. Yay! So I actually, if I come over here, my budgeted income, my typical income is $22.48. I did plan to go over. Now $500 right here of that was actually going into my my new savings account. But it, like, I still had that money. It wasn't spent. So, and it was money that I just used towards everything. So, anyway, my total income received, of course, was $4,500, and then my income minus my outgo was $2,402.73, and then my extra income this month was $2252.81, and I'm very excited about that. That does not excuse going over budget by like $300, but oh well. Life happens. So my sinking funds over here, of course I have not added the money to this yet, but this is, let's see, like April. Let me show you. So here's my April sinking funds, and this is where everything started out at the beginning of April, and then I put money into my sinking funds account. So I'll just kind of let you look at that.
$250, that stays the same, because that's my other half of my emergency fund. So $70, $150, $200, $45, $300, $200, $125, $200, $561 is just extra change.
If the total amount is on this side, that means it is fully funded according to what I feel like I should have. at the beginning of May.
I have $250, $140, $200, $300, $70 for clothing, $300 for dues. Even though I spent money, I still have that money in there because I did not touch my sinking funds account. It just came out of my main bank account. $250 for medical. Amazon Prime is not in there. There's $0 in there. It will start saving next month. The laptop fund is $200, and Lucy is $200. She's fully funded. And my extra change is $723.
Okay, so I have some other exciting news. Down here is where I keep all of my extra accounts, and so of course I have my loans account where my student loans are automatically withdrawn from. I just keep extra money in there just in case they ever accidentally take more than they're supposed to, or just in case there's like a month or two that I can't add more money into it. So I just have a little extra cushion. This is how much I pay per month, and then this is how much I will have after 1 month if I don't put anything extra in there. My sinking funds account, and this is how much I have in there, and then my extra checking, this is half of my emergency fund, and the other half is in my main bank account is my emergency fund right here, but there's $100 for that, that's still in there. And then my extra savings account did have $2,500, but now has $2,400.49 because of my new bank account. So I have a total in my 360 accounts from Capital One that is actually this, and this account. And then now I have this new checking account, and down here I decided to do my total in all of my accounts, like everything that I have right now to my name. I have over $10,000. Like, what? Where did this money come from? I don't know. But I mean, I'm like saving like a mad person. And yes, I do have my student loans, and if you have not been watching, the reason why I do not pay to extra on my student loans is because they are in rehabilitation, and I am waiting to pay extra until they were out of rehabilitation, and I'm hoping to get a lot of the fees and certain things like taken off once they are out of rehabilitation. And then also I have a new payment plan set up. I just want to have extra money just in case, because I don't know how much I'm going to end up paying once they're transferred to a new loan servicer. I don't know how much will come off of service fees and all of that, how much they'll be able to take off. And so anyway, it just makes me feel better, just stocking that money up until they are completely out of rehabilitation, and then I will like knock them out, and with $10,000 I can punch them out. That doesn't mean that like I have all of that, because I have sinking funds, I have now this I can use, and this I can use, and then this up here, this is the total amount right here that I have transferred to my 360 accounts. And so this is actually before, like, my bank account does not have that much in it now, because I've actually gotten paid and I transferred money. So this is before all of that happened. By the time my loans are out of rehabilitation at the end of the year, I will definitely be able to punch them in the face, but I will also have plenty of savings stockpiled for all of the different things that I need. And I'm kind of glad that I have this year that I'm just saving and discovering things like my Amazon Prime membership, like that renews once a year, and I forgot like that was coming up. So now I can plan for that for next year. So when my budget really does tighten up and I'm not just saving, I'm actually spending my money each month to go towards my student loan payments. Like I'll be prepared for things like that. So it's kind of good, I think. So that is it. That is my budget. And let me know what you think. Let me know. Yeah, you can scold me for going over budget. I know. I shouldn't have. I tried, if you see here, I tried even upping my teaching budget to give myself extra money, because I knew that Mother's Day was in there, and then I also knew that I would be spending money on books for an end of the year gift. You can scold me. It's okay. I deserve it. So, I hope that you enjoyed my May budget. So even though I haven't been posting videos, I have been keeping up with my budget, even if I did completely blow it. So That is all for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.